question for you about government, as far as the U.S. government and other governments. I'm quoting you, I hope I'm right. You said 14% of Americans own crypto and Congress acts like the number is zero. We saw the infrastructure bill happen recently. And, the community was up in arms about it because we saw potentially a lot of damage, especially, to the infrastructure, including like the miners and even what you do. We thought there might be senseless regulations that would stop the innovation. The wins is we got, some 70-something-year-old senator from the South to talk about crypto on the floor. Some said it's the best press that money could buy. On the con is we still don't know what's going to happen and the regulations coming in the future. How do you stand on government being a part of this, educating them? Obviously, you want to work with the banks, but how does that work with government?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, I'll go back to what I said earlier, which is 14% of Americans own crypto and Congress acts like the number 0%. I think that's completely true, which is this is an incredibly new technology. In a lot of ways, it's like, 1995 when 14% of America had a modem, and used the internet. And it wound up becoming 100%, just a couple of years later. And it's a new technology that I think is catching legislators and the government off guard because it's so new. And the first reaction to a new technology is like, oh no, doesn't matter who you are. Small numbers of early adopters see the promise and the upside and they get, really excited and really rich. But for the most part, I think a lot of people say oh no, there's a new technology and it's going to change everything. And I think that's the phase we're at right now with, the US government. And the first glance is they're not seeing the promise and the opportunity and the upside to having, financial markets and assets running in better infrastructure. They only see the fear. And, for the first time, we're starting to see the government start to take legislative action to try to control and rein in crypto. Now, I don't think this is a good thing. I think, if we reacted this way when the internet came out, almost all of the major tech corporations would be Chinese. You'd have Google and Amazon, and Facebook and Netflix all headquartered in Beijing, right? If we imposed massive constraints. Now, I think they're falling into that trap right now. And people are starting to speak out. What was a bright spot in the infrastructure bill was that, Congress was caught off guard a little bit by how vocal the crypto community was and said wait, there's actually people who are pro crypto. What's amazing is that most of the offices didn't even know that anyone was pro crypto. They thought, for the most part that this is a low risk, political thing. They're oh, most Americans don't care about crypto. Who cares? We'll just, start to impose restraint on it. And I think this is what they're going to be surprised by is that, it's a large enough demographic that it would never be overlooked if it was done in the context of polling or political priorities. And I think they're starting to wake up to the fact that a huge number of Americans have crypto, care about crypto, and understand that the future is bright, not that it's a dangerous and bad thing. And so I expect that the political winds will change. I think that you're starting to see legislators and government officials waking up to the fact that this is a huge political demographic that's extremely passionate. And so I think it's early, I think even when mistakes are made, and I think the infrastructure bill was a huge mistake, I think there's a lot of opportunity and time for, the government to come around and actually see what, they need to do and why crypto can be such a powerful and positive technology.